So the presidential debate. Let's talk about who won. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to talk about that, but I can tell you who's probably not going to win, and that's you and I, the everyday middle class working guy and gal. But let's talk about what you need to understand and what's really going on, and what they think and what we need to understand the reality of it is. So obviously we had the presidential debate this last week, right? I don't know if you watched it or not.
I watched all the replays.
The hit list, right? Kind of. So you probably do that with football games and stuff too, right? Just watch
No, those I watch all the way through.
Okay, so priorities. All right, got it, got it. I had a chance to watch the majority of it, and it's almost like it's the same song and dance, the Pony Show, right? And what we've got in America, at least in my lifetime, the first president I voted for was George H. Bush, or I guess H.W. Herbert Walker, the older guy, the dad, right? I kind of came up and grew up during that Reagan era. And then, you look at, actually, I remember the first inaugural speech was Ford. I remember I was like a little kid, but for whatever reason, I remember that. And then Jimmy Carter and then Reagan. But, now we're dealing with, obviously, President Biden and presumably Trump. Are going to be the two that are going to go at it. And we're going to find out, as we get closer to November. And I always am so excited about November because it's like, okay, finally all the political ads and the mudslinging's over. But, really, you look at, is the presidential race going to impact you? Well, on a macro level, I would say, yeah. Obviously, you look at what we've had over the last 4 years, and I don't know. I mean, when President Trump was in office, the economy was going very well. Prices were down, jobs were up for all, ethnic groups across the board, especially in the African American, depending on what you're looking at and things like that. And then we obviously had an election. I'm not going to say who did what or whatever, but there was an election, and the outcome was President Biden came in and things changed. And, I don't know if you've noticed it or not. I don't know if you use gasoline or grocery shop or anything like that. But have you noticed anything over the last 4 years?
Yeah, our country's gone to crap. That's what I've noticed.
Well, there you go. There you go. I mean, it's still America. It's still the greatest country on earth. I'm sorry. I'm a patriot. I mean, you can see behind me, I've got my eagle here. I got my flag here. So I'm actually out at my cabin right now watching the debate. No, I'm kidding. But it's one of those things that, you look at, how does that impact you? I mean, obviously, the prices, inflation, and everything else impacts all of us because we're the working class, right? And all of a sudden, the stuff that we used to do and take for granted, it gets constrained. The extra stuff that we were able to buy for ourselves or our kids, whether it's, meal kits or supplements or just going out to dinner and stuff like that. All of a sudden there's a choice of, do we do that or do we, keep the lights on?